Nestled at the eastern end of Autanum Road in Union Gap, Washington, sits a quaint little cemetery called Pioneer Cemetery. It was the first cemetery in what was originally called Yakima City, before the railroad came and the town changed its name to Union Gap. It was given to the community by Lewis H. Goodwin, M.D., one of the first pioneers of our valley, after his wife Priscilla died in childbirth on December 18, 1865. Dr. Goodwin was the leader of a wagon train traveling from Portland, Oregon to Puget Sound, Washington. The group diverted off the main westbound trail and traveled north up the Yakima River until they reached the gap between two hills, Rattlesnake Ridge and Autanum Ridge, and decided to go no further. At the time that Goodwin gave Yakima City the land, which was part of his homestead, Spring Creek, the land stopped at a cliff, overlooking the west bank of the Yakima River. Even at the high distance from the river, part of the cemetery was washed away in a flood in 1906. Some of the graves were moved to Tahoma Cemetery in what would become Yakima and buried with other family members there. Lucky for Priscilla and Baby, the flood stopped before it reached her grave. It's very surreal while driving by on the freeway to think that over 150 years ago, this freeway was a steep cliff and people's last resting place. Priscilla now has a view of cars flying by, doing 60 to 70 miles per hour, heading either towards the Oregon border or Spokane. I'm curious, just what would she think about seeing the valley today? We are the Afterlife Collective, and today we are at Pioneer Cemetery.
Yes.
And this is Chandler.
Hello.
I am Leah, and we have come out here today to see what we can find out here at the Pioneer Cemetery and go over the history and see if this place might actually have something or not. We'll have to see.
See if everybody's resting at peace or if we need help transitioning.
Exactly. This right here is Priscilla Goodwin. She is the first person that is buried here at the cemetery, and that was in 1865. This used to be nothing but a great big field, and it belonged to her husband, which was Lewis Goodwin. He was a doctor here in town, and he was also the head of the first wagon train that came through here. And when she died in childbirth, he buried her out here in his field. And this field used to go way far over that way, but during 1906, they had a giant flood here. And it took out, 3/4 of the cemetery. What you're looking at right now is what is left of the cemetery. So we're going to try and go in here today and see if we can see if anything's here.
Yeah.
People say this place is haunted. I think it's peaceful.
It is
if you
very
ask me.
peaceful so far. If I do feel like people are resting at peace so far, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. So that's why we're here today. And I guess we can start. Let's start finding Priscilla's.
So I wonder, like, the majority of these people's like day-to-day lives like consisted of, you know, like.
Well, we've probably been, like pioneers and, like Priscilla, she was just,
She was a mother.
mother of three.
And a wife.
Yeah, wife. And they just come through not 3-4 months before that
Right.
on the wagon train.
Yeah, wow. So you could imagine.
This was all new land to them.
Yeah.
So they were pretty, that's probably why she died in childbirth, because, out in the middle of nowhere, even though her husband was a doctor.
Yeah.
So this is Priscilla. And like I said, she's facing the opposite direction, and she has a wonderful view of cars now.
Right.
But it is kind of hard to imagine all this being a field out here.
Yeah. Before, like, all the way past, so 50 yards past the freeway, right?
Yeah, 50 yards past the freeway.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Everything would be, and it was just a high ridge that came off into the river there.
Well, that's a pretty large portion of this cemetery to be
So we got maybe a third left
yeah.
of the cemetery,
Wow.
because a lot of these, they never found them. Some of them that they did wash up, they took over to the homeless over to that cemetery. But a lot of them, we don't know where they went.
It's kind of ironic that it stopped right here at her house.
Yeah, right at her feet. It is kind of ironic for that. But if you look here too, see, I think the rows have just been, because these two right here, next to her, this one right here looks like it's facing this way, but it could be they just turned it around for this one. But they left her because she was the first. But the baby over there, I'm not sure. I'll have to look and see what the name. This one has a name. This one, I'm not sure. It looks like it might. No, I can't even feel an unknown on here.
I feel like I want to say it's Joanne. I want to say it's Joanne.
It's kind of hard to say, you know.
It is.
And then the baby here, this is the baby, and as you can see, it's caved forward.
Yeah.
Little Nellie.
Little Nellie.
Yes.
The daughter of J and M Deveni. A lot of these people, or a lot of these spirits, really just kind of want to be noticed. They kind of want to be acknowledged or recognized, or
just remembered in
remembered.
general.
Yeah. I take these little lambs, said he, and lay them in my breast. Perfection they shall find in me. In me be ever blessed. Wow, that's beautiful.
See, I always like that they put stuff like that on.
Yeah.
You know, they don't hardly do that anymore. Now it's just names and dates.
Right. No, that was beautiful. And I mean, that really hit home.
Yakima's history, there really isn't much history that's been logged too much. A lot of this stuff was just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find any information about this area, hardly at all, unless it was something major.
Major that was like...
Most of the history was kept, you know, older history was kept in Fort Simcoe.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because they had to keep that kind of thing. But most everything else is just kind of a hit and miss. You might find a little something.
Little articles here and there, maybe.
And most of it is oral history that's been passed down. So it's no wonder that a lot of these are marked unknown, because there was no cemetery records whatsoever.
Right.
In fact, if they hadn't been able to read Priscilla's, they probably wouldn't have known who that was. Yeah. And I can't imagine, just looking at this, you know, how many people are out here without even.
Yeah, very true, yeah.
Because
I'm sure there's way more than what we're aware of.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, if you look at it, you can see where some of the roads were, but it's kind of hard to even think about, you know, how many could be out
this
here.
this one's an unknown, and
That
it's
one's
facing that way.
Yeah.
Abby or Abby Ridge something. Abby Ridge something. Oh wait, they see the name the same.
This one says baby. Is it Abby or is it baby?
Oh, it might be in front of it. Oh yeah, it does say baby. Oh, there's two babies here then. Baby Ridge something.
Yeah. I don't know if they're twins or if they were just, because I know what you talked about. Yeah. I'm wondering if sometimes there's ones I've seen, there's actually twins, you know.
Yeah.
I know it makes you wonder when there's no dates and, you know, how many kids did they have? Because I know you go over to Tacoma, there's some of them, there's 5 babies in a row.
Wow.
You know, the same family, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, what happened there?
What happened? Yeah. Why are all these little babies dying back then? I mean, I'm sure.
Well, we had smallpox, we had scarlet fever, we had yellow fever, so
there was a lot of
there was a lot of babies back then, I guess, you know, dying from that kind of stuff.
Let's check out those ones over there.
Okay. These are more of them that they could have just laid down because they couldn't put them back up.
Check out
C.W. Lacey. MP and C.W. Lacey.
Weep not, father and mother, for me, for I am waiting in glory for thee.